So this video shows how to test and send certs in TIO. So if I click on Mr. Test, test as premises, how I start the test is I can do either the fire alarm and emergency lighting separate, or I can do them at the same time. So what I do is I go into Start Service Visit at the bottom. So sorry, let's explain that more. Click on Fire Alarm, Fire Detection Alarm, and then at the bottom I've got the Start Service Visit button. Click OK. Service visit cannot be cancelled, that's important, so any compulsory checklist questions will need to be answered regardless of any service actions. This is why I've set up a test thing, because I don't want to be starting service visits and then I complete the whole thing, and actually then it adds it to the logbook as well, so I don't want to mess up anyone's logbook. So I don't care if I mess up this guy's logbook because he's not real. I know, shocker, right? So okay. We've now started the test. So if I press the back button, so we start the test for fire alarm only. So if I go view assets, now usually I just filter by fire alarm if I'm only doing the fire alarm. And now you can see some of these already been passed and filled and whatnot. So what I could do, what the difference to when we added the assets in is when I click on, say, the call point, there's a new tab called test. What I do is press pass, confirm. Test, say this time I was able to reach the detector. Now let's show you how we do a failed one. So if I go test, click on this one here, click on test button, and then I've got enable and fail. So say enable, whenever you do that I want to add in loads of detail, or as much detail as needed, so could not reach detector, or lock could say door with no access to room, something like that, because these will come on the report and it will be really helpful for me to understand what's going on. So that'll be enable there. So let's click on that smoke and floor 2. If I click on test, fail. I could say did not set off fire alarm panel. Therefore replacement needed. I think I spelled replacement wrong there, but that's okay, I guess. So if I click on the sound at the bottom, so other is it crashed. That sometimes does happen, but what I find is you don't really lose any data at all. So it's not ideal, but it's not the worst, because I haven't lost any data. Filter, if I go filter by fire alarm again, you can see it's all there. So I could go best other replacement asset. So I guess that must be if the asset is different to one move decommission. I've actually never seen this before. I don't know if it's a new thing. So this is, I guess, if it's be decommission, moved, or changed with another type of asset while you're testing. So let's say we moved it. Ah, okay, you can move it using this. Interesting. You can move it to a different room. So say if I decommission, add notes, what notes do I need? So it actually deletes it and it must make a record of it. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. So that's how to do the test for fire alarm. So if I show you in here, well, we've got to do the checklist, but I won't show you the checklists yet. If I go on emergency lighting, and I also start the service visit. If I go in here, filter by equipment, filter by emergency lighting. Now, you don't have to filter if you don't want to. You could have done, if you've done both the fire alarm and emergency light at the same time, you could be in that room and see, okay, that's that emergency light, that's that fire alarm. You could do it all in the same time. I don't know how practical that is, and actually, now I've said it, I don't think it's at all. Because you'll just put the emergency lights on test, and then you'll just go around doing the fire alarm. But yeah, I'm just making the point, you don't have to filter like this to make it work. So let's have a look which ones. So down here, exactly the same. I clicked on the bottom asset, go test, pass, and it's crashed. You can also do this on your phone as well. You can install the app on your phone. I've actually found more reliable It doesn't usually crash as much, he says. But yeah, it doesn't usually crash as much. So for every time I've used it, it's crashed once, maybe twice. Like for a whole, if I'm using it for like a whole day, which is, you know, fun, I think. If it's crashing every, like, as much as it just did then yeah, it's gonna be annoying, but it usually doesn't. But on your phone, I find it is more reliable. I think the Android, that's on Android, by the way. I haven't used it on a iPhone, but on Android, the app seems quite bug free, I guess would be the term. So that's the that's in there. Now, how to complete them. So what I can do, what you'll need to do the checklists. You can't finish until the checklists have been answered. Now, the checklists are quite long. That one isn't. The fire isn't. The emergency lighting is 31 questions. So I'll do this in a different video, and I'll explain how to fill them in.